Well, that was informational. Chris, what did you think of The Punisher?
I thought it was terrible. I hope they never they never do another one of these motherfucking bitches. No, like what everybody said before, reiterating, yes, these series are too long. I've only been saying that since Luke Cage. I mean, come the fuck on. I mean, I kind of been championing that since Jessica Jones, but yeah, it got a bit much with the last couple of shows, which is weird because then they did the actual team show with 8 episodes. I don't know how that worked out, but whatever. I felt like if Punisher had a good 8 to 10, it would have hit that sweet spot, and there would have been no real fluff. Even though you can't really call what happened in the middle fluff. Well, I can't call it fluff as a hardcore Punisher fan because it's not the typical, like it's not like the latest Punisher comic run or not even the last couple. It's more so a lot of the nuanced stuff with, like Drew was talking about, dealing with PTSD and dealing with a lot of people who've served in the army or the Marines, like Frank did. Shit like that is what they basically had. That was basically what the not the integral plot of the show, but it was the overall lining of it. Everything kind of circled around and came back to that. Even towards the end, where we saw him sitting down at the meeting again, the group shit. Of course, with the little shit Lewis terrorist kid, who, if Billy Russo turns you away, you have to know you're a fucking lunatic. But I think that the only problem I honestly had with the series was Micro having a family and then Frank sort of co-opting his family because his family just got murdered recently. So it was kind of like these things didn't just, as the Punisher lore goes, it's not like he, you know, lost his family like just recently, but they had to make it modernized and updated because back in the day, like Punisher fought in fucking Vietnam and all of this other crazy shit. And they had to just update the wars because if they made it seem like he fought in Vietnam or anybody in that thing did, aside for that fucking giant loser who never actually served, it wouldn't make any sense as to why Frank is still the age that he looks, even though everybody knows in comics that nobody really ages except if you start off as a kid. Because everybody who served under Batman as a Robin has grown up, but Bruce Wayne's still the same fucking age. So they gave him, a couple of tours in Afghanistan and, Iraq and what have you, all the recent wars that have taken place. So that to me was fine, but the micro shit I didn't like. I didn't really enjoy that too much. I mean, it was kind of, I want to say, because it's not like Frank Castle has become some sort of soulless creature where he doesn't care about people and he doesn't actually save people or take care of them or anything like that. I don't know if anybody, like, people were saying that they didn't like the fact that they were trying to make Frank seem human. I'm like, dude, you've clearly never read one Punisher comic if you think all he is just a fucking hail of bullets and mad guns. The dude is way deeper than that, and they showed a lot of it in the show. Maybe more than a lot of people cared to, but that's just what you get. It's it's a 13 episode Marvel Netflix show, so there's going to be a great deal of dialogue mixed in with some substantial action. But given Frank's backstory and his history with these characters that he was dealing with, the action wasn't your regular kick punch, throw through a window, all that kind of like karate bullshit. It was brutality. It was strategic movements. It was you know not wasting any ammo when he's shooting. Like he knows what he's doing. He's meticulous because he used to be a Marine. Like all of this shit is shit that you would only see in like a Punisher situation. Like obviously we see cops and all kinds of soldiers randomly just shoot and firing all the time. You didn't see any of that. You didn't see any of that shit. When Frank stormed that whole compound by himself, when they had the flashback to him and Billy being at war, when they had that private operation going, and he went in by himself, the dude was a monster, and he made no mistakes, save for one, and it didn't even make a big fucking difference because it was a flesh wound. But it was like he made sure every target he had, he hit and killed, and there was no coming back from that. So some people were saying that it was it was too soft. They were making Frank look too soft. Some people were saying the exact opposite. Some people were saying the violence was too brutal and there was way too much of it. I, for the most part, think that they hit a good in between. And if we see another series, which we most likely will, because if Iron Fist is getting another one, fucking Punisher better get another one. So if when we see most likely Billy Russo will be back as Jigsaw as we see his face become brutally mutilated
Yeah, that
by
was great.
Frank. I talked about this a bunch of shows before. I think maybe the show where we discussed the trailer about how that's how Billy becomes Jigsaw. I mean, Frank doesn't do it to him in the comics, but it's the same old song and dance anyway. They
It
fucked
was
his
in
face
a,
up
and
on
it was in a,
glass.
wasn't it like in a club or some shit in a bar fight?
Yeah, and some mafia people did it to him.
Yeah, that's like the thing I did like too. Kind of piggying off what you're saying there too. That's true to the comics is I like that. Well, they did that in Daredevil too, but they show how he gets hurt a lot and gets shot a lot also because
Yes,
Frank
yes,
gets shot a lot.
because he's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a regular guy.
I mean, he's
So
a
I did
badass
like that.
marine, ex-marine, but he's still just a human being,
Shooting Deadpool versus Punisher, Deadpool shot him dead in his head.
bro.
um,
Just the things that I mean, he's only human, but recently we've seen him grab onto some old armor in the new Punisher Legacy series. So we'll see.
I didn't
We'll
even read
see.
that yet.
We'll see what World War
Oh,
Machine
pick
Frank Castle will do.
make sure y'all pick that up too because they actually got a couple of cool covers for it.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, I went to actually grabbed his.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
sick.
I,
Plus the art that I got from this year's Comic Con from Boss Logic. Shout out to Boss Logic on Instagram. Check out his art. It has the Punisher and the War Machine armor. So
yeah, Boss is freaking sick with it.
it's gonna be some sick times with whatever he can decide to come up with for
He,
future art and
quick
whatever
quick
the
tangent.
comic is coming up to.
Quick tangent on that. With those guys that like in Artist Alley, I
Hmm.
know some of them are former artists, but I mean, I gotta look up like Boss bio, but that dude is mad nice. Like, is like, are they those dudes just rather stay independent? Like, why don't those dudes
Well, it
draw?
depends because there are the artists who just rather be independent and stick to their guns and make their money how they see fit. Then there's people who are literally pining to these big companies trying to get, Marvel or DC or Image or, anything, Vertigo, Dark Horse, anything to just look at their art so they can get picked up and have, a steady gig because for the most part, it's just freelance what they're doing
Well, I guess that there
and
is
commissions.
a
So,
surplus of it because
yeah. But they like, I mean, I'm pretty sure he did well that weekend. Fucking Roland paid his rent alone.
yeah, I think Rolling cop like four or five of his shits.
And then he ordered stuff.
Oh yeah, he did. But I mean, the thing is too that he has good presentation and it's good quality, and it's not
And
just
he
like
wasn't a dick. It
yeah, he
helps
was
to not
cool.
be a dick at Comic
Well,
Con.
I mean,
It always helps to not be a dick.
Well, no, I mean, that's to go back to that story. The only person that was a dick was the black guy.
Yeah.
White people treated us so well
And it
that
wasn't and
weekend.
it wasn't that he was being a dick, it's just he was trying to rip us off.
Yeah, he was just ripping us
And
off.
but also at the same time, it wasn't really him trying to rip us off. He was just not trying to give us a legitimate deal. Where we had just came from our man from Massachusetts stand where he was giving us hip hop variants for $2 a pop. So coming off a
Yeah,
deal like that and then walking across to see one of our own try and just snake us, it was kind of like,
20.
you
I got
know,
like four from him. I can't. Let me not bring it up because that shit just gets me mad, yo.
yeah. But
But
overall,
yeah,
I
overall, yeah.
I
What's your number
thoroughly
system for
enjoyed
Jude?
the Punisher series. I can't wait to see more. It it only fueled me to want more John Barenthal in this role and in just in general. Because even though he was only in Baby Driver for a short time, what he did was amazing, and he was great in it. And I just like the dude phenomenally as an actor. The first thing I've ever seen him in, legitimately, was being Shane in The Walking Dead. And because I was at the time when the show first premiered, I was such a goddamn comic book purist that I refused to give anything, live action a chance that deviated too far from the goddamn source material. Um, his character, Shane, being the way he portrayed him, was true to life from the comic, from the graphic novel, and it made me want to actually continue to watch the show more. But after he died, I was out the door.
But
But then
that
this
that
dude
was
came in to play Negan, and I was all in again.
but
But then I
that's the
left
crazy
again. So
thing. That's the crazy thing that also shows he's a good actor because there's certain people in certain roles. I said this on the show before too. Because like Matt Damon in Matt Damon's a dickhead anyway. But when he did The Departed, I really hated him because of that
no, you have
role.
if you say The Departed, you have to say it right.
I'm not talking in the
Do
freaking.
it.
No, I'm not doing it.
The Departed.
This we got your period.
It
You,
was The Departed.
you got your period. But no, I hated Matt Damon for
I'm the
that.
guy who
And
does his job. You must be the other
the other
guy.
guy, fucking Alec Baldwin. Oh no, that
No,
was
that was
Mark. That was
Marky
Mark.
Mark.
That was Mark. And then Alec was there.
No,
Yeah,
Alec Baldwin was also a huge cack in that movie.
yeah.
Fucking love that movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that movie was real good. But I hated Matt for
Another
that.
another classic Boston crime movie for me was The Town.
The Town was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Like
starring Hawkeye and Batman. Wouldn't you know it?
Bat Flack stinks, but Ben Affleck in The Town was
Was good.
fire.
Even Hawkeye was good in it. It's not
Yeah,
that I don't like Jeremy Renner. I just don't like Hawkeye as
he
an
just don't like
overall character.
archers. But
Yeah.
like Matt Damon, and when I watched Walking Dead, I hated John because Shane was such like, I mean, just because I've been burned by dudes like homies in my life
Oh,
that
oh,
I was like, yo,
oh,
man,
oh,
ooh,
oh,
ooh, 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 you
oh,
want around
oh,
three? But I was just like, yo, I was like, this
You've been
guy,
burnt
yo,
by the men in your life?
pause. No, I was
Daughter,
waiting. I was
daughter.
I was
waiting.
waiting. I was
I was
waiting.
waiting. You took so long.
I know, I
That's why I
know,
changed it. But
I know.
I hated John
Coming
in
He's
out,
this.
not always
coming
here when you
out.
call, but
Come
he's
on
always
out.
on time.
Come on out. He's always on time. Thank you, Lord. But I hated Shane. I
That's
hated
what
John
we're
a
not
lot
going to do
because
today, okay?
okay. I mean, of all the filth and bullshit we talk about on the show, we could bring a little Jesus into the program.
We will not
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
disrespect his
ooh, ooh.
name, and we thank you. Ooh,
Um,
ooh, 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 nothing.
no,
Goddamn,
never.
nope. Almost.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Please don't.
mm.
I
Ni
mean, like we could be like
rectim.
Trump and disrespect religions, tweeting out anti-Muslim videos,
Fuck him and his
propaganda.
haircut. Let's move on.
Yeah, no, but I hated John because his role of Shane because like that was Shane was such a real piece of shit, and
And he
it was
played it
better.
well.
Yeah, it was actually better in the show, even in a purist standpoint, because he got stretched out longer compared to the comic. Because
Yeah,
I
because he
watched the show
died
first.
super quick in the.
I think it's the second edition. It's like I
Yeah.
watched the show and then like that was actually one of the comics that get me back into reading. So I started reading it, and then I got to the second one. I was like, "Oh shit, Shane's dead already." I watched like a whole season and a half of this shit for him to
Yeah,
die.
like that thing is fast paced, bro. Like that
Yeah,
that
Walking
comic
Dead.
wasn't fucking around in the beginning. They were like
Yeah,
shit was happening, bro.
but I can't think of another
They were
one.
making
But
moves.
yeah, John is a good
Yeah, it's all
actor.
right.
Yeah, I mean, and he was great for the Punisher. I mean, number rating before you. Do
Oh,
you
for
have one?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, out of five is five.
Well, I mean, I don't know why I asked you. I didn't know if you was going to be even with your critical parts of it, if it was going to be
No, yeah, I mean, but the micro thing, like even as much as I didn't like it, it didn't take anything away from it. It was just to me unnecessary.
I thought all those things was good for story. Like it was
No, yeah,
all
it was good for the story that they were trying to tell and where they were trying to put Frank in that frame of mind. That yeah, it was good because he needed something like that. But for me personally, I think it was unnecessary. But I don't mind it for it being in it and existing as a plot device because it didn't ruin the overall scope of the show. If it ruined it, then it would be bad. It just seemed unnecessary to me.
Sorry.
Where are we going next? Are we if we on Marvel, we might as well go trailer.
No, you save the best for
No,
last.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tap out
The
if you're gonna do
email.
fucking DC.
Well, we're not staying long on this Good Justice Guild.
No, yeah, that's not going to be a huge.
Yeah,
That's going to be a quick 5 minute.
5 minute debacle. So let's, as of recording,
Did we not do? We did.
What?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Email.
Yeah, we're stuck. We're stay on the email because this is one continuous show, right? One continuous program.
Yes. Oh yeah. Speaking of that,
Bullshit.
continuity wise.
See how we stick to continuity?
Yeah. Just have to crack open another beer just in case.
That's continuity right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, as of recording, what took Thor 1 weekend to do, it has taken Justice League almost 3 weekends to cross the 400 million mark at the box office.
You know he's a numbers guy.
Yes, I am very much a numbers guy. It is being reported by numerous outlets, by Variety, Deadline, the works, that this film has to make over 700 or 750 million just to break even or make a little bit of a budget. As it's currently on track. No, it's not. As it's currently on track, it is on track to be the lowest grossing DCEU movie, and it is on projection to lose anywhere between 50 to 100 million.
They're making it, son.
Also, Variety report, before we get into the review, I want this to be known. Also, Variety has reported that the studio, I mean, okay, granted, the movie was hog shit. After Zack Snyder had to depart the film due to family reasons, which is sad, the common sense thing would say, let's push the release date back. It has now come out that the film isn't Zack Snyder's fault, wink, wink, nod, nod. But in fact, the president and CEO of Warner Brothers, they were the ones that stood firm on the release date. And the reason being was, I think Warner Brothers, or the time Warner Corporation, was doing a merger with AT&T, which is currently slated not to go through due to the FCC suing to make that happen. They were scheduled to make bonuses, each of $85 million bonuses, and respectively. This year, obviously, had this movie released this year. If they pushed
that's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah. If they pushed it to next year, then if the merger were to happen, they possibly wouldn't keep their jobs, and then they wouldn't get the bonus. So for all the DC,
so the reason why this happened was also some big wigs could get a fat check.
Yes. So all the fans upset about this movie being trash and things of that nature, you have Warner Brothers to blame for this.
Now you know where to place blame. Place blame on suit men.
One of the best things was that Instagram post about we have to save our heroes in a time of need.
I was like, what? I was like, I'm not. What the fuck are you? What?
Yeah, I don't know who
I'm not going to see no. I was like, I'm not going to go see no fucking movie again just because. Get the fuck out of here.
I think I saw it a day or two before, and then once you got your hands on it, then it was over. I mean, I probably didn't.
Are you fucking kidding me? I was like, hey man, it's real motherfucking charities. It's real people who really risk their lives out here, not a bunch of goddamn actors who will clearly work again.
Yeah, and they're not hurting now. Like they're
definitely not hurting.
They're definitely better than.
It's like, yeah, the movie ain't like it's mid, and it ain't, and it's not selling. But guess what? They get paid off top, and they're gonna get paid off the action figures. They're gonna do a stupid ass video game. They're gonna do a bunch of horse shit that has to do with this movie, and they all gonna get paid off the back end of that. However, they probably ain't gonna make another one of these motherfuckers, and that's final because they ain't reaching that. What is it? 700? They ain't reaching
700 or 750. Well, let's do this.
They ain't hitting it.
No, because I think Thor at this point is closing in on that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Folks said it best. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna
hey man, when Coco come out and whoop your ass, on Thanksgiving weekend, you know you did something wrong. And your movie been out for 2 weeks and it's got what, six well notable superheroes, one of which that just broke barriers with her own solo movie, one of which is ridiculously iconic, and the other one is just a brooding millionaire. But I'm saying
Come
the
on
movie
out.
is the movie is jam packed with fucking stars and like, come on, dog.
Big promo tours, like promo everywhere.
Every Comic Con, every panel, all these goddamn interviews, press junkets. It ain't like they haven't been promoting it, so no one can do that bullshit. Oh, they didn't promote it well. No, motherfucker, you knew about it. What they didn't promote well was Wonder Woman, and it still knocked this shit out the goddamn water. So that's a hit and a half for your ass about
They're
what
just
these
forced. They're
DC
forcing them.
schmucks
They're
need to
forcing
hitch
them,
their
man.
wagon onto. They need to hitch their wagon onto that goddamn golden lasso and see what's up with a sequel. Because clearly, Batboy ain't doing it. Soups ain't doing it. Soups versus Batboy ain't doing it. The team ain't doing it. Who's doing it? The lady in red. Might want to hit that up.
Let's go ahead and knock this review out of said way. The film opens up to a horrible animation, by the way.
We're gonna do this?
No. I'm putting out the points here. Here are
Oh,
the
okay.
points.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. You said
Yeah,
you had points
I have
again.
points. I have points like I
For
did with
fuck's sake.
Vistage.
All right, everybody. Oh,
Here are
mute
my
your
points.
mics, guys.
I'm gonna try to blow through this extremely quickly. Giggity. So point number one. The film opens Wonder Woman. This random European guy goes into a bank, something with a bunch of children. I don't know why children are touring a bank, but that's besides me. They're touring something.
Wait, that was the first.
That was the first thing of the movie, and
that was the first thing that I thought of. I was like, why are all these children doing in the bank?
Yeah, yeah.
What are they doing a withdrawal? They put.
That's what I thought. I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Young
Sorry,
Republic.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Okay. That would never happen at Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Navy Federal. I don't know what the European girls are doing, but so we're in the scene, and these criminals come into said place of establishment work, and wonderful. And then as it continues to pan out, they have a bomb in a suitcase, and then this guy says, we need to take humans back to the Stone Age. Let's erase everything, and we're gonna just go back to primordial times and things of that nature. So let's pause there. Let's pause the film, if you will. You mean to tell me that one block? Now, I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a scientist, but I'm
said
just
4
gonna
blocks.
assume. He said 4 blocks. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He said 4 blocks. Now, you mean to tell me out of 4 blocks on every block on this good planet, this block better have every power grid, which it didn't. It better have every bank account information, which it didn't. It better have everything that we need on this planet to survive, and it did not. Okay. So that didn't make any sense to me. That slammed the hell off. So, okay, let's press play here.
It was the first national Nigel Longbottom.
Nigel Longbottom. Wow. I like
London bank. It was some random bank in Europe.
Yeah. Now we flash forward to the symbol.
I like what you did there. I see what you did.
See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
Where we have the scale of justice, all right? And the woman with a sword holding a scale of justice, and on one of these scales is Wonder Woman.
In a blind justice? I don't know.
Blind justice. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, the imagery's cute. It's cute. So Wonder Woman just gets into the bank, and she uses this dental floss that's around her hip that glows gold, and she yanks one of the. I've never understood that thing, and I've always hated that thing.
The lasso of truth. It compels you to speak your truth.
And I am. The dental floss of dental decay is telling me to tell this.
She ripped apart her dental dam and created a lasso with the force of 1,000
teeth.
So
I
just keep thinking of about these fucking children in the bank.
Okay, hold on. Mute your damn mic.
Okay.
So then she says, "What are you guys doing here?" He says, "Oh, we're blowing up some shit and yada yada yada." So this has to be one of the best scenes here going forward, where she takes the bomb, throws it in the air. The bomb blows up. Now, mind you, this bomb was powerful enough to take out 4 blocks. And as she threw it in the air, which looked to be 300 feet above the bank, I'm more than sure there would have been a bigger impact in the air, which would have caused a downward effect. But again, I don't work for any kind of corporation that does that kind of stuff. So then the guy, just in his infinite wisdom, just like, well, fuck it. He just takes a gun and just starts spraying everybody. Then Wonder Woman goes into super slow motion, which was cool. I didn't mind this. Super slow motion. She's taking her little gauntlet thingamajiggers and it's like shoom, 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 just blocking everything. And she beats the bad guys. Then next scene, Batman. Now, Chris, I expect you to chime in after I'm done with this part because you know Bruce is about as well as I do. Batman's on some roof in Gotham. There's a criminal robbing someone, clearly. Now, in this scene, they're on this roof. He shoots the water tower. Water comes out. And Batman yokes him up with the batarang, and he holds him over the edge like he's going to just drop him. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" And then Batman's like, "Fear." I'm using the Bale voice now. He's like, "Fear." And then you see a parademon just shoot up out the alley of Gotham. Batman yanks the guy back on the roof. The parademon and Batman's fighting. They zip around the city, and coincidentally, they end back on the roof where it all started. And then this parademon explodes. And mind you, here's the part that took me out of the film from here forward. This part here, one of many, mind you. I'm a huge Batman fan. One would never know this, but I'm a huge Batman fan, and I've always loved Bruce.
He is, kids. He really is.
The Batman I grew up on, aka Kevin Conroy. Batman would never in a million black ass years get on his little walkie-talkie thing in his headset and say, and mind you, while the villain or the criminal is like 10 feet away from him, Alfred, hey, what is this? So if I'm a criminal and we live in the age of the Googles, and I'm like, well, why is Batman saying Alfred and we're in Gotham City? I would Google Alfred,
famous
Gotham City, that too. And I'm more than sure he's the only Alfred Pennyworth there. So I would say, oh my God, Alfred Pennyworth, butler of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's Batman, click. That's one part that bothered me. The second part in this scene.
Hold on, let me channel a DC fanboy right now. No, because Bruce Wayne is like, he's Batman, and Batman is the world's greatest detective. So of course he would have had all of Alfred Pennyworth's files and all of his Wikipedia page scrubbed, so nobody would know who that is. You couldn't Google search him if you wanted to.
I want you to put a pin. I want you to put a pin in the world's greatest detective part because I'm going to get the girls for that.
That wasn't me. That was DC Fanboy 69.
DC Fanboys. Skank Hunt 24. So this criminal's 10 feet away from him, and Batman just lets this criminal go. What version of Batman does this? Okay, now let's slide those two. Wait a minute, 4 issues out of the way. Another issue that I've had with this film. This is 0.5, I'm assuming at this point, if I'm correct. 0.5. If the Flash, the world's fastest idiot, can run extremely fast, you didn't convince me because he literally looks like he's about to fall down a hill of rocks every time he's running.
Oh my God, that run!
That run has... I'm not going to say what I want to say on air, but he looks like he's running down a hill of rocks. That's all I'm going to say.
What I want to say on air.
My other issue, and Chris, I guess you can help me with this because maybe I didn't get it.
Sure.
The issue is the kid says he works 4 jobs, right? Wonderful.
What?
They alluded to him working 4 jobs when he talked to his dad in the prison.
Ah, yes, the 4-job thing.
How in the blue fuck, if you're working 4 jobs And mind you, the Barry Allen that I know is kind of intelligent. This one, not so much. How did you steal NASA space aerodynamic equipment and make a suit that could do all of what you wanted to do? Because remember, he said Bruce, or I'm not going to call him Bruce because that's not Bruce Wayne. Ben Affleck said in the film that, oh, this is a aerodynamic suit, so I'm assuming that when whatever your power is, it doesn't burst you into flames.
Yeah, some sort of polyurethane NASA nonsense.
So with that being said, he's clearly running a couple of times without that suit on. So why didn't he burst into flames?
I mean, if you're the fastest man alive, you could legitimately run naked. No one would know. Who would see?
Ready for the next?
I mean, that the wind resistance and friction against your genitals must be crazy.
My next gripe. This goes back to Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck comes down to the ski resort into the Netherlands, and
I'm looking for the Aquaman. Anybody see this Aquaman? Where is he?
And mind you, all these people can speak English because they understand him, but they're choosing to speak in this dialect that they all understand, right?
And then miraculously, of course, Bruce speaks it as well.
Exactly. Mind you,
I always love that about comic book characters. They always know how to speak foreign languages.
And it's like Aquaman knew he was Batman and just blurted that out. Bruce would never, the Bruce Wayne I know and the Batman I know would never just show up dressed up in his regular clothes. He would have went there as Batman.
At nighttime.
That part. He would not have stayed there dressed as a billionaire playboy. And then, okay, that's what, 6? Let's go to 7, and it's in the same scene. You mean to tell me these people that are here, I'm going to assume they're Atlanteans. We're going to take out the belief that they're Norwegian, even though they clearly stated they're Norwegian. I'm just going to put myself in the realm of common sense. How is it that they drew Aquaman, aka Momoa, with 3 mother boxes on the wall? They weren't alive during the Lord of the Rings scene that we'll get to in just a few moment. Where
Steppenwolf.
Right. You know, it didn't make sense. And then we fast forward. No, hold on. What was the first mother box? Okay, the first mother box that was taken was the mascara, which this whole sequence was badass. I will give the girls this. The girls know how to make a scene.
Man, them Amazons rock.
Like the one scene. Okay, so basically, Steppenwolf comes and he just shoots in this boom tube. I don't know why they call it a goddamn boom tube, but he shoots through this boom tube. And
boy, it's called boom tube. They call it.
Well, I know it's called one. I just don't. I've never gotten the.
Oh,
Chris, look, for my money. So I don't understand why it's called a boom tube. I don't know why it's called a boom tube, but it's called a boom tube. So this whole scene, he shows up. The Diana's mom. She takes the what is it called? A mother box.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time, the Amazons, while she's running, they're knocking down these pillars to trap Steppenwolf in this tomb. And the mission is to keep the mother box moving so that Steppenwolf.
Man, that chase scene was so fucking rad. I was like, yo, if the rest of the movie has sequences like this, okay, this is gonna be a good movie. And it didn't.
But see, that's what had me. I was like, okay, the beginning of this movie, not so much. I said, okay, we're here. Come on out.
Show me,
yeah.
DC, yeah. Show me. Pick your head up.
But here's the part where, okay, the main part was when Steppenwolf finally gets the box, right? And then all you hear is this, yeah, and then they pan to the hills, and you have hundreds of Amazons riding on horses. That was bad ass. I was like, ass.
They wanted major smoke. They were coming down. They came on out. Steppenwolf came to chit and he came to chat. And these bitches was ready to go, son. That's what I'm saying. Anytime you throw some shit with Wonder Woman going on in any of this DC rigmarole, it's going to be flames. It's going to do numbers, and that scene specifically is what made the movie for me,
It was the
and
best
is
scene in the
what made
movie
me,
and didn't have
and
any of
is
those
what
guys
made
in
me
it.
think. Yeah, but see, but that's what I'm saying. That someone totally different must have directed that scene, because I was like, okay, if this is the direction that this movie is going in, then I'm plugged into this seat. My eyes are glued to the fucking screen, and I'm ready to go for the rest of it. But that's not what happened. So
No,
oh
it's
well.
not at all. Um, so that scene was great. Then we flash. I mean, we go to Cyborg. I love Ray Fisher. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland. He resided in New Jersey for the majority of his life. And the only reason I know this is I listened to the Fan Bros podcast. Shout outs to them, by the way. Um, he seemed, I mean, his struggle was something that I'm like, okay, yeah.
It was
If
legitimate.
I
It was
was like,
legitimate.
it was. I didn't like he just seemed like a whiny little bitch at times. And that's
I
what drew
mean,
me out of the character a
I
little
was
bit. But
just
I understood it.
yeah, I understood the struggle and why he was feeling the way he felt, but at the same time, bro, look at you. You could literally do anything right now, and you're learning that you can do anything like on a minute by minute basis, and things are just getting more and more like things are making more and more sense to you, and it's crazy. The only thing that made sense was the struggle because he was made from mother box. So that kind of conflict dwelling within him and like all the like his internal systems and AI and all that shit, that I understood. But the fact that he just didn't want to go outside
I
because he
want you
thought he
to
looked grotesque.
put a pin in that mother box thought because I'm literally gonna come back to that. I'm literally gonna come back to that
I don't want to come back to it.
because this is how they could have made the movie better, right? Right. But okay. So another scene that
Don't do that. Because there isn't anything that could have made this movie better.
I think you'll agree with me when I tell you. I think
Mhm.
another thing that pissed me off is all of the cities where these respective heroes are from are not anywhere near each other.
Shut up, they're very close. It's five borough system like New York City.
No,
It's the same.
in the
They did
movie,
it just like in Biv's Dodge. It's the same shit
no, that's not what I
because
grew up on.
because Gotham City is Manhattan and fucking Metropolis is like Queens or something. It's the same. They're across the river. So that means that Themyscira is Staten Island and fucking Central City is the Bronx. It's the
No,
same.
no,
It's a five borough system.
no, that's not what I grew up on, and I
I'm
refuse.
That's not what anybody grew up on, but this is the Snyderverse we're talking about. It's a New York City five borough system. And that's where all of these separate and Atlantis is just the Atlantic Ocean that's on the coast of New York. That's what it is. That's why everybody's so fucking close. I'm telling you, you're thinking about it in terms of what is supposed to make sense. Stop. Let me stop you right
Oh,
there
I'm
because
getting ready to
it's
get you. I'm getting ready to get
because
you.
because the locations of where these motherfuckers are is distanced by car because that's how Bruce is getting to each of them.
Oh, I'm getting ready to get you right here.
Er,
So the
Except
scene,
for when he went to go see Aquaman, which apparently he had to mountain climb
yeah. Um, the
and then
scene where
mountain descend.
that too. The scene where he meets the Flash when the Flash comes home.
Oh God, I hate
We
this
have
kid so
already
much.
established in Biv's Dodge that this guy has a fast ability, right? We
Mm-hmm.
know he runs fast. Batman figured that out in the first movie because he had all of the tapes on each individual person.
Mm-hmm.
So why did he show up to Barry Allen's dungeon trap basement
His
where
trap
he,
house.
yeah, where he lives. And he said, well, I know you have abilities, but I don't know what they are. Aren't you the world's greatest detective? And didn't you already find that out in the first movie? So
He
you
had a
just mean to tell me you happen to have a batarang in your pocket and you're just going to expose yourself again and throw it? That didn't make any sense.
Let me stop you right there. Just hold up. It's like this. All right. Bruce is just kidding. The whole world's the greatest detective thing is it's a sham because it's one of those things where like guys use, wild titles to pick up women in bars. Like a dude just go to a bar and tells a woman, like, "What do you do for a living?" He goes, "Oh, I'm a neurosurgeon." She can't prove that he's not a neurosurgeon because how many neurosurgeons do you meet on a regular basis? He could just fucking say anything. But if he lied and said he was a cab driver, she'd figure it out. Do you know what I mean? But it's that kind of thing. Like who's gonna refute that? Who's gonna debate him on being the world's greatest detective? The man had a fucking binder, a three-ring binder that was thicker than a fucking Arby's double bacon cheeseburger on all of these motherfuckers. And then he had a goddamn, what was it, a CD-ROM or a flash drive that him and Diana were like sifting through, or Diana found, or whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember a lot of shit from that movie. But all I know is that he had hard files and he had digital files on all of these losers. But every time he met one of these losers, he didn't know what the fuck they were about because the world's greatest detective thing is a sham. You might be a fan of Batman. I, however, am not. I don't understand how people can give this motherfucker the carte blanche that he has to go off and say and do the things that he does about himself. That's crazy. They've written this motherfucker to be basically the greatest superhero ever with no superpowers. And it's like, well, why did you build somebody like Superman to stand next to him so that you can see that somebody who's otherworldly with incredible strength and speed can actually be bested or be taught lessons by the quote unquote common man? Listen, this idea that Bruce Wayne, Batman is the common man has got to be thrown out the fucking window at this stage of the game. Because if he's lasted this long being amongst, people who can literally shift worlds, then there's nothing common about him. First of all, his bank account ain't fucking common. The things that he does is because he can do them because he can afford them. I can't afford Krav Maga classes on a daily basis. I can't learn the shit he's learned to do to fight these motherfuckers off. I mean, get real. He's not the common man. The idea that he's regular just because he's very killable, because he's a human being, is totally different than calling him common and then boasting about him being the world's greatest detective. What's common about being the world's greatest anything? Even if you were the world's greatest farter, you'd be better than everybody else in the fucking world at something. So he ain't common at all. Only one that's common is that motherfucking rapper from Chicago. This bitch, Bruce Wayne, ain't nothing but, I'm not gonna say that billionaire line because that, like, they keep stealing lines from fucking Tony Stark, and it's sad at this point. And I don't even get into the whole Marvel versus DC thing, but all of those lines that Bruce says are things that Tony says because DC's trying to bring on that lighter, more comical side because people always keep complaining about how DC's too dark. I don't complain about DC being too dark or being too edgy. Besides the fucking, the contrast in the movies, that's actually very dark because you can't see most of the shit that's going on. That was my major issue with Batman versus Superman. Sorry, Biff's Dodge. I promise never to say Batman versus Superman again. But fuck, man, that Justice League movie could have actually been something, but it just wasn't anything. And that's the sad part. The sad part is that these motherfuckers, unlike Marvel, have the rights to literally all of their characters. Everything under their banner, they have the rights to. And we're just getting a team movie, and that's the shit that they gave us. They had all the time in the world to get that right. Because if you want to call a spade, the first Avengers movie was rushed. And they put that out rushed as fuck. Because at no point did they ever think to make that movie like a reality. It just came together because the ball started rolling with all the other characters. And then once they got Cap out of the ice, it just seemed like the thing to do. So people were like, oh, yeah, they're finally going to fucking do it. And then once they nailed casting a Hulk, everything was fucking peaches and cream. And then we got our Avengers movie. But that in essence was rushed. Justice League had all the fucking time in the world to become the perfect team movie. Because look how long it take them to do one. How many fucking team movies have we had from Marvel thus far? And fucking TV shows with teams. It's ridiculous at this point. The DC fucking TV teams. I don't know why my voice got so high just now. The DC team ups on TV are way better than the fucking Justice League movie. As we speak, I'm currently in the middle of watching the fucking Crisis of Earth X or whatever the fuck it's called, with Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and the Legends of Tomorrow. And it's a four-part series, and it's better than the fucking Justice League. It's crazy how something from TV with fucking no to little money can do something that a major motion picture backed by God knows how much money can't fucking produce for shit in an hour and 45 minutes. And these
I'll
motherfuckers
say
are doing it in 45-minute intervals in four parts and they're killing the game. The TV Flash is my Flash. I'm sorry. I'm not into this fucking movie Flash kid in his
Drew looks
Power
so
Ranger
bored.
suit.
um, I'll
Yeah,
say
because he
this.
didn't see the movie and he's just like, wow, I'm very glad I didn't fucking watch that fucking
Yeah.
movie.
I'll say this and then I'll end it and we can move on to the trailer.
Thank
Um,
God.
what would have actually made the movie interesting
If
is
those
if Cyborg was the third mother box.
Oh yeah,
And
okay. Yeah, I get. Oh, like how
that,
they did in the animated series.
oh, look at that. If Cyborg was the third mother box and Steppenwolf actually captured him and was going to kill him to convert him into the Unity, then we would have
That
had
would have
some
been fire
situations
because
to
it would
deal
have been
with here.
because then it would have seemed like there was real stakes. Because the only cool thing in that movie was when Superman came back from the dead and beat the living shit out of the Justice League all by himself, and it was basically like, okay, well, this is the reason why you brought him back because none of you can fucking beat this guy, and this is the only guy who can beat this guy. Then he came back and systematically washed the antagonist of the movie. And then he had to fly off and go help Cyborg pull apart the fucking mother boxes and shit. So it was like, okay, well, we're gonna give him something else to do so that while he's off screen doing that, Aquaman and Wonder Woman could actually fight the antagonist and make it look like they beat him when in reality Clark Kent, Superman, is the one who did it. Because the moment he stepped on screen, it was what the fuck? There's no reason for it to be a Justice League movie. It should have just been Superman 2. He could have did that by himself. The fuck were all of you doing? God damn it.
Oh no, baby. Anyway,
Fuck Zack Snyder.
um, so let's do this. Marvel this week, and this was early this week before we get into all the exciting stuff.
Mm,
Marvel put out a
mm,
poster, and that garnered
mm,
more attention, more headlines, more news than the Justice League did. Then
mm,
Marvel put out today a
mm,
trailer for Avengers Infinity War. And my God, that
mm.
2 minutes and 20 seconds had to have been the best goddamn 2 minutes and 20 seconds I have ever seen in my goddamn life. 2 minutes and
But,
20 seconds was better than 2 hours and 5 minutes of Justice League.
but Phoenix, Drew, I ask you, when does it all stop? Why must we have such racism in the MCU? Why is Captain America running in front of everybody in Wakanda? Why is he leading?
Fucking
Every
representation. Fuck.
Are you kidding
You see,
me?
no, you know, we're joking. There was a tweet. Oh, by the way, don't ever. Well, I didn't know at the time, but there was a retweet by a guy who happened. He works at TMZ. So he just I think what's that chick name? Her name's slipping my mind right now. The chick who ended calling Trump Jamil. Um, yeah, but
I don't know
she
fucking
and
name.
then
I don't know none of these
and then
people. I know you guys.
but yeah, she replied, and then he's like, "Am I wrong?" And all I said was, "Yes, you are." This tweet has been faved like damn near 1,000 times
Yeah, it's over
because this guy,
2,000 at this point.
yeah, but the basically some guy from TMZ Sports was trying to say that part when they show Cap running in Wakanda and everyone behind
The
him,
end of the trailer, basically.
yeah, that like it's some say it's racist because why is a white man leading in an African nation and all this other bullshit. Like it's that's the most that's really but really like yesterday Chris or it was today, but at once Chris has said that like he's kind of just getting over the movies and shit. It's because of how popular they are and just
And people
most
spouting nonsense about it.
people who don't know
Like
shit
these,
about shit.
it's not even, and it goes beyond being a comic purist or any kind of shit like that, or a fanboy, or anything to that extent. Like if I'm being a fanboy, or you think that that's what I'm being, or a purist or an elitist or whatever, I'll take it. I don't care. You have your own fucking opinion. It's for me, it's the ridiculous hot takes that people have for shit that is just like, dude, it's just a fun movie, man. It's just a
It's like
movie about
it is a
superheroes
and
and powers
it's not fucking
and
real.
shit that's not really happening in the world. Like focus that anger on like shit that's actually really going on, like real issues that the world is facing that people at large have to deal with. Not why is Chris Evans as Captain America running in front of CGI man, woman with blonde hair, uh, fucking dude dressed up like a cat. You know what? Like, what the fuck is your
It's just
problem?
like everyone is like this. They're like too pro black now that they're looking for representation in like in the comic movies. And the thing is that they didn't have to give us what they're giving us, and it's like we
Dude,
can't even be sad. Like
we're
there
getting
was
we're getting to a point in these movies in the MCU that we might see a lot of shit that we thought we'd never see live action and major motion picture, mind you. Like, I never thought we would get an Avengers movie number one. Now we're getting to the point where we're getting to like deep lore of like the Marvel universe. You know what I mean? And if that merger with Fox ever happens, it's only gonna
yeah,
get crazier.
it's gonna be crazier. I mean, the thing is, when you think about this is an actual comic event, and it's gonna be on film. Like we're getting
In two
like
parts, mind you. Civil
yeah,
War
like
was one, and they knocked it out in one. And now Chris Evans is back as Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid. You need to shut the fuck up about my man's.
like you don't and this and like even with the and on both aspects because like I think I talked about it on last show, but like Falcon just got relaunched in the books. You never know if they'll spin off on something
Oh,
with him. I mean, he's
and it's
not a
good.
popular Avenger. Yeah, the comic I said it like the Falcon book. Well, we can't say the actual word that we want to use that we say on fair, but
It's blackety black as fuck.
it's black as fuck. Like if you're like a real uppity type Negro,
It's
it
not
may
for
not
you,
be for
son.
you, but you see how like we talk like we're smart, but we from the hood. You're gonna enjoy
It's
it.
for you. It's mad slang. There's tons of references from like old neighborhood shit, from ranging
the
from just shit on the block to hip hop to whatever. Like
like the
it's
first edition is named after Kendrick's first album.
yeah, bro. The whole score, and it incorporates the one of the newest young black superheroes who's like the new Patriot. There was someone called the Patriot back in the day who took up like he was in the Young Avengers. I
You know
believe
what that sounds
was
like?
his name Elliot or Isaiah? I can't remember his name honestly,
It sounds like
but it was also a
representation.
young black kid, and he idolized Captain America, and he basically, but this dude idolizes the Falcon when the Falcon was Captain America. So,
That
like,
sounds like representation to me, man. Shit.
I mean, hey, you might want to go send a tweet to Black Girl Nerds and say what they got to say about.
Jesus, always complaining. Damn, I'm behind on Riri Williams, but no, yeah, no, that tweet was just. But that's the other thing
They
too with
just
the.
issue just came out last week.
Yeah, no, I'm like 1 or 2 behind, I think. But this the breaking
It
down of
incorporates
it.
her and Doom because it's the legacy.
Yeah, I already
The
read the one
hunt for
before that.
Tony Stark. They're trying to
Yeah, and
find,
then Tony's missing, and then he's like apparently coming back to
bro.
life.
It
Sorry for
is
spoilers, whoever hasn't read it yet, but we've
it
been
is
telling you to
so
read.
like the shit with Doom is read it.
Damn, if that Fox merge happened and we could get Doom for real on screen.
All right, but we're
But
getting
yeah,
way off topic. We have to talk about
yeah,
the
we're getting
trailer.
away. But back to the trailer. But yeah, the only other thing that's annoying too is just people fucking breaking it down, and then purists and non-purists clashing. Just shut the fuck up. But yeah, we just went on a bunch about a bunch of shit. Phoenix, thoughts on the trailer?
Well, there was
This
an
is going to be a
earlier.
treat for you kids because usually this guy is on media blackout and don't watch trailers for nothing.
Well, this is the first and last trailer I will see on this movie. So if they release another one, I'm
What do
not
you mean
watching it.
if? There's probably going to be a
I mean,
new
they're
one.
going to release it.
Super Bowl, definitely.
No, they're not doing Super Bowl.
Nah, probably
if
Black
anything, it'll be
Panther.
Black Panther, and that will be
Yeah.
the only
yeah, Black
time I
Panther.
will see it. So
Yeah,
here's my thoughts. The film.
Unless you run out of the theater.
No, I was just saying that.
Backroom
Get
brain.
your ass.
The film is based off of 2013's book by Jonathan Hickman called Infinity. It was a slew of writers that wrote this book. Hickman, I know I'm going to pronounce his last name. Chung, Opina, Weaver, Didado, Caselli, and you. They all wrote a line.
You didn't do bad. You didn't do too bad.
Yeah, thank you. They all wrote a book, and the book is now in collection. It's about, you can find it cheaper on Amazon, but you can go to Barnes & Noble, pick the book up for $49.99 US black ass dollars.
Read it.
It is a great book. I'm reading it now, and I'm at the part or I just got done the part where they all invaded Wakanda, which you see in the film. And seeing the creature, I forgot what the name of the creature was called. Yeah, which I think Shuri's going to make him a shield. But so basically, in the book, all of the I'm not going to spoil the book. Read the book. It's a great read. So in the film, you see the film like I saw it in the trailer when they're all running to Wakanda. In the book, there's an Infinity Stone. Not necessarily in Wakanda, but someone has it. I'm not going to really spoil it. But in the trailer, you see the Hulkbuster coming down. I don't believe Tony's piloting that thing. I think Bruce Banner is piloting the, what's it called? The
Hulkbuster?
The Hulkbuster armor.
The Hulkbuster. I have a wacky theory for this film. I believe that Thanos with the Reality Stone is going to separate Banner and Hulk in Avengers Infinity War. Ooh. They're going to be separated. And then by the fourth film, they're going to realize that they actually need each other. If you go back to the trailer, you see someone stepping over a dead-ass Guardian. That goes back to Thor Ragnarok at the end crawl, where you see Thanos' ship. I don't believe Thanos goes onto that ship to grab that stone. I believe that's Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw is one of the Black Order, aka in this film, they're called Thanos' children.
Yes, Ebony Maw.
Yeah, Ebony Maw. Oh my God, Drew! When you figure out, you need to read this book, Drew. Like no bullshit, and you see all these characters.
Man, I've been trying to catch up with so much shit.
No, stop that and read this. I'm telling you. So Ebony Maw.
Stop what you're doing. Read
it. I've been reading.
So Ebony Maw, which is one of the
shit.
Yep.
No,
okay, thank you.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I've been reading.
I've been reading. So Ebony Maw, he's actually the weakest out of the Black Order, but he's the most intelligent. So basically, He's okay. In the book, he's believed not to have powers, but that's a lie. His power is the power of manipulation. His power is basically if he speaks something, he can manipulate your mind into doing it. And then you see Loki handing over the Tesseract. I believe personally, here's a theory. Loki dies in that scene. I believe that they make good on the promise that was set forth in the first Avengers film. If you fail, basically you're going to have hell to pay. And I think Loki, because at the end of Thor Ragnarok, Loki basically comes full circle. He's no longer the prankster because Thor basically said, hey, you could be so much bigger and better than you are, and you knew, but we'll be the same way like this forever. And the fact that Loki got on that ship and he didn't prank him, that said something. And truth be told, Loki could have just called Thanos and all that stuff, but keep in mind there was the possibility that he would have gotten killed. And if you look at that trailer, he's not handing over the Tesseract with a grin on his face. He's handing that Tesseract over with basically like, okay, I'm stalling. Take this. And I believe at that point, the Asgardians get off of the ship. They make it to Earth. To another point to the trailer, you see the Sanctum Sanctorium where there's a huge hole in the steps. There's another part in the trailer where Banner is laying in a cluster of broken steps. Banner somehow falls into the Sanctum Sanctorium. In one of the older comic books, the Infinity book that I think Drew's reading now, or was reading, the Silver Surfer was the one that fell into the Sanctum Sanctorium, and he was the one to warn them that Thanos was coming. I believe that what's his kid's name?
Well,
Banner is going to be. Well, yeah, we know that didn't happen.
Well, yeah,
we know that. I believe that Banner's the one that's going to warn them, but by that time, it's already going to be too late because the invasion started. If you also look at the trailer when it's the shot of Wong, I believe it's Strange, Banner, and Stark. Stark is holding the phone that Cap left him. I believe that's the start of the invasion. The directors, the Russo brothers, said that basically there's a point in this movie where Thanos destroys a world and throws it at the Avengers, and that's not in the final act of the film. Breathe. So he said that's not even in the final act.
I can't wait to see that cinematically.
Yeah. He said that's not even in the third act.
We're gonna do no shit like that.
No, he said that. He's also said that, or they also said that it's not even in the third act of the film.
That's nuts.
You see Peter in the Iron Spider suit. What else?
Stay there real quick. Suit? Can we stay there real quick? Real quick?
Make it quick.
Boy, I love Spider-Man, and
that shit is trash.
That suit trash, boy.
That shit is trash.
That shit aluminum foil.
Yo,
that shit look like the Mace and P. Diddy suit from the Mo Money Mo Problems video.
Yo, out of everything they get right, but we said this from Homecoming, because when they offered him at the end, we was like, yo, that suit looks pretty weak. And they did not fix the shit because
that suit looks like ass. That suit looks terrible.
The first suit from Civil War was dope. That CGI suit. But this suit,
and I'm just like,
this suit is real bad. Oh my God. Everyone was raving about it. Like, it's not even being a purist, man. The shit just look whack.
The shit just looks stupid.
Because even being a purist, I know that I would talk shit about it because there's nothing like the actual suit that Tony gives him.
I don't give a fuck that it's not the Iron Spider suit that Tony gave him. I don't give a fuck. It's baggy.
It just looks whack.
This shit looks baggy. It looked like he's gonna work on a car.
No, that shit is the colors just don't hit me. But yeah, this is whack.
It looks like a onesie with reflectors all over it. I don't like it.
Okay. Well, I want you to tweet them that then. Okay.
We're not you.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's you. I'm not. I don't.
No, well, I didn't tweet it at them. I just tweeted it.
Oh yeah, I just tweeted it too. I just said the shit is ass.
Yeah, also, I don't got time to be trolling motherfuckers online all day. Ain't you and Roland the fuck?
Also in the trailer, you see Tony taking someone's hand. Tony's crying. I believe at this point, Peter dies. And here, work with me here for a moment. Peter dies because he has the most connection to Peter. As he said in Homecoming, if you die, that's on me. Now, I think at that point, because it's the scene that we saw from the Comic-Con trailer where what's this kid's name? Strange is throwing out the steps so Star-Lord can jump on him, and I'm assuming fight Thanos. I believe that Strange uses the Time Stone to bring Peter back. Tony sends a kid back off on his way. Another scene. Oh, obviously the big one where they're all in Wakanda. Me personally, I think that the Asgardians make their way to Wakanda. Hemdall, or Idris Elba, as I like to call it. Idris Elba is
His actual name, then.
Yeah,
as I like to call. That's what everybody else likes to call him too.
That's what his mother Nick called him.
Yeah, Idris Elba is in Wakanda because he is the time stone, in my personal opinion, because he can see all the souls in the 9 realms. I believe that he's in Wakanda, in the Avengers, or Cap side of the Avengers at that point, is fighting to keep him safe.
Oh, 1 second. Somebody made like a graph of like all the Infinity Stones and who has them. Somebody said that the Tesseract, I forget which I think that's the reality one, or maybe
the reality stone is the ether. That was in Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah. I forgot which one the Tesseract is anyway. I've been drinking. Anyway, somebody said that Heimdall has that. He's never even been near the fucking Tesseract.
The Tesseract is the Space Stone.
The Space one. That's the one. That's the one Loki has. So I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. Like Heimdall doesn't have that shit.
And that was another dumb hot take too, that the Soul Stone is in Wakanda because black people got souls.
Like dude, shut up.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Okay. I think the trailer. I don't know what to think.
Like you're just breaking it down. I'm just saying all.
No, because I'm just trying to hurry up and get this thing out the way so we can end.
No,
this.
You're good. That's why we do it.
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta pee anyway.
Yeah. So the fact that this has been, as we keep saying, 10 years worth of building, and Thanos at one point takes the Tesseract, which is now a stone, and he drops it on the gauntlet, and he has this like evil petty ass grin, which is fucking beautiful. Another scene, you see Vision getting the stone ripped out of his head.
Oh, that was great.
That was beautiful.
Here are the two people, because you have to look at the boots.
You also see the Vision in his human synthesoid form.
Yeah, I was about to get to that one.
So he's totally gonna bang Scarlet Witch, and they're going to have the babies.
If you look at the boots of who that is, the boot is Proxima Midnight, which I'm assuming they're just going to call her Proxima in the film.
Another one of the Black Order.
Yep. And then I want to say that that's Ebony Maw again, because he has a staff.
Isn't Ebony Maw the one who threw it at I think maybe Cap or Black Panther who caught it?
No, that was Proxima. Her staff.
Proxima. Sorry, Proxima's the one who threw that. But I don't know who caught it.
I think that was Falcon. No, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who that was.
What?
I don't know who that was. I don't.
Falcon ain't got no reflexes like that.
No, it might have been Cap. But if you go to the comic book and the Infinity book, when she throws that thing can split into 3 and
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, the person who caught it, like, if those two clips sync up, like when she throws it and then somebody catches it.
I think that's Cap.
It's either Cap or Panther. Like, those are the only two people who have reflexes that could have done that.
I think it's Cap.
Yeah. Because I was just like, Falcon doesn't have no reflexes like that.
Yeah, next year's gonna be too lit, man, with these movies.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think I don't want to see another trailer, truth be told. If they attach a new one to Black Panther, I have no choice but to watch it. But I don't want to see another trailer.
I'm actually good on another trailer too, as well. Also, in addition to movie. Because when Drew said that thing earlier about me, kind of not backpedaling so much away from the movies, but just veering more towards the comics versus the movies because people are saying stupid shit. It's also a lot of the trailer, like the constant trailer dropping, and it's just like the hype. It's too much hype. Like this movie isn't coming out until it's fucking warm outside again. We haven't even gotten to freezing cold weather on the East Coast
Mhm.
yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already have a Marvel movie ahead of it in February. This movie doesn't come out until fucking 3, 4 months after that shit. So, like, the fact that this movie already dropped the trailer in November, goddammit. Like, another trailer for me, like Phoenix said, if it's in Black Panther, fine, because we're all going to go see that shit. But as for like if they drop one at the Super Bowl, if there's another one online, like I'm not gonna fucking click that shit. I'm not gonna watch more scenes from this thing that I'm clearly going to pay good money to go see in a very comfortable theater with no children screaming and just
That's a good thing. Our theater is not like Twitter. Like, I mean, I can imagine going to certain theaters where you have to deal with that annoyance in person. But
bro. Once
yeah,
I got put on to comfortable seat theaters that don't allow children in it because they serve alcohol and so on and so forth, I can't go back to regular goddamn
you done said too
Lowe's
much
and
though.
AMC bullshit.
You kept it
Like
very vague. You done said too much though, because I don't want no New Yorkers invading our. Well,
I didn't
they
say anything about where it is or what the name of it is, but you ain't gonna see me in no Regal Cinema with my knees in my chest watching goddamn Infinity War. I tell you that goddamn much.
I can tell
yeah.
Fuck
you
that.
where. Here's what I'll say. Now listeners of this show and Gamertag Radio that have listened to me in Paris over there for 10 years. 10 years will be, oh my God, next year will be 10 years I've been doing this stuff. Anyway,
Old
So
fart.
it's the 10-year anniversary of Marvel of the MCU and a 10-year anniversary of you podcasting.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. Look at that. Um,
You were born for this.
all right. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Next year,
Come
May
on out.
5th. Yep. I'm coming out. Literally coming out. Um,
Coming out.
we will have details. We are doing a meetup for Avengers Infinity War in California.
What the
We
fuck?
um
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about
Yeah,
no no
that.
no no
that's
no
what.
no 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 no. I said details. I didn't get details. I can't talk. I can say a meetup. Details I can't give yet.
Oh, that's why
Okay.
you done said too much. I was that was the what the fuck for. It's because you even mentioned it.
No. I mean I'm letting it be known now.
No, all right.
January
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, go
details
ahead.
will come out about
Okay.
everything that's
Details are gonna
entailed.
come on out.
Come
Yep,
on out.
details are coming out, daughters. Um,
Fix your wig.
fix your wig. So this is a preparation. You've all been put on notice. Next May, which will be May 5th, will be the date that we will all be meeting up, sending on to the Californias to see this film. And that's all that I can say at this moment.
Hmm.
Um, I
We've
don't
already
know.
said too much.
Yeah, I'm. That's. I
No,
didn't
trust me, I
expect. I
didn't.
did not. But I
No,
didn't
because I
No,
was
I
expect.
know.
going to
I'm
say
just
this
I'm
far.
trying to be, you know.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
can't
I
talk
didn't.
about the details. I can't talk about
Yeah, I
the
know. I'm just trying to make it seem like there's a bunch more I mean, there is a bunch more shit,
yeah,
There's a
there is a
bunch more
bunch more.
shit, but
but
I was surprised you even said
I'm trying
that.
to make it seem like it's super secret spy moose and squirrel shit, like
Hmm.
fucking hyper Black Widow kind of,
Curb your dog.
Agents
Curb your
of
dog.
Shield shit.
Yeah, we're gonna yeah.
Curb your dog. Yeah, just curb your dog.
Very dog. So with that being said, again, if you guys want to know the comic book version of the Infinity War film, get the Marvel book
Just
Infinity.
tweet it from the page.
I'll tweet it on the Twitters and the page.
Yeah, so if you want to,
Show our Twitter some love. Tweet us. Talk shit to us.
You might
or
get
if
blocked if you're talking shit, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Um,
I won't
um,
block you, I'll just send you a really gross picture that you probably don't want to see.
And then you'll end up blocking us.
yes, that part.
Yeah,
The
I make you do the blocking.
yeah, the Infinity book, which is by John Hickman, which is this book is great. It's a great book. So definitely go get that if you want to see what the comic book version of the film is, which will literally not be what you see on screen because you have the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the
It's literally
Inhumans.
everybody in that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
affects everyone in the MCU.
And
That's
if you want, you can just go out and buy comics and support what these movies are based off of. So yeah, you can do that as well if you so choose to.
One other quick note: the Russo brothers have confirmed, and I mean, granted, like this wasn't knowledge anyway, but Kevin Feige gave
Hawkeye's
them.
dying? Thank God. Oh, I love
No.
you, Russo brothers. You're the best.
Kevin Feige gave the Russos a list before they started filming, and I guess writing the script as well.
Of how
Even
many
though they
different
changed shit
ways
on
they
the
want
fly,
Hawkeye to die in the sequel.
they change a lot of things on the fly during filming anyway. But they were given a list of who they can kill off in Avengers 4.
And Hawkeye is the only name on the list.
So all of your favorite Avengers, some of them may not be coming back from this because he said that there needs to be ramifications of this invasion.
Dead.
They probably have to
You
kill.
dead, you stupid Archer.
They probably have to kill Tony because
Listen,
he's coming at his end like Hugh. He's been Iron Man. I mean,
what?
Hugh Jackman.
Oh,
You
Hugh.
said like
I
Hugh.
thought you meant Hugh Hefner. I don't know why.
Oh
Wow.
no, nah, he's already dead. But,
Here's what I think. I think
Are you
Cap
talking
is
about
going to
Hugh
die.
Jackman
Yeah,
in the
Jackman.
Wolverine?
I think
the
Cap is
Wolverine.
going to die. He's going to be the one to make the ultimate
Nah,
sacrifice.
you can't. Cap doesn't die.
You can't kill Cap.
I think
kill
Cap dies.
Well,
I think
no,
Cap
Have you,
dies.
Phoenix? Listen to me. Have you seen Chris Evans' hair in that trailer? Do you think they're going to kill Captain America?
I have a
not
damn
only
about
that,
his
Bucky,
goddamn L'Oreal shampoo.
Even Bucky's
He
skin.
uses the Farrah Fawcett spray.
Yo, even Bucky got some coconut oil. He looks like a new man.
Bucky got a washing set, son. He
No,
went to
that's because
Wakanda.
he went to Wakanda, got some of that natural African soap on his
He got
skin.
that Shea Moisture, fixed his ass right up.
Yeah. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on Black Twitter might have canceled the Shave Moisture, but
Yeah.
Bucky
Yeah, I was
didn't.
going to say, no, we canceled Shea Moisture. I don't use her no more.
Yeah,
Well, no,
Bucky didn't.
I mean, it's irrelevant, but they actually sold the Dove.
All right, whatever. Anyway,
Even worse.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bad move on that part, but yeah.
Nah, yeah, it's I don't think Cap is gonna die. Is you know what it is? It's probably gonna be like how they did that swerve in Age of Ultron, how it looked like Hawkeye was gonna die, but then Quicksilver took the fucking bullet.
Oh my
That
god, this
kind of
guy is
shit.
feeding for Hawkeye to die so badly.
He really is. No, I think Clint's wife dies. That's why he shaves the side of his head and he turns into whatever character he becomes in the comic books. I think his wife dies.
First of all,
In
why
Infinity
is his
War.
wife even in the goddamn thing?
Please
It's like the micro.
Don't get
It's
him
like
started.
the micro thing. Hawkeye
Oh,
doesn't
God.
need to have a family in order to make him look human. He's just an archer. Who gives a shit? Hawkeye's backstory is that he grew up in the fucking circus, like goddamn Nightwing. Who cares if he has a family?
Oh, he's a carny?
Yeah, he's a fucking carny.
Yeah, Hawkeye doesn't really get cool until Old Man Logan, and when he's blind. He's better blind. He's not even using arts. He's not even shooting arrows. No,
I'm gonna tell you something about Hawkeye you might not know, Joe Rogan. Hawkeye never gets cool.
Nah, he's all right. He's all right in Old Man Logan. He's all right. He's just an old drunk blind guy.
It's just nonsense for somebody like, okay, not even just him, but Black Widow as well. But it's like you ain't got many broads in this movie, so you can't kill off Hawkeye or Gamora. I mean, Hawkeye. You can't kill off Black Widow or Gamora. You can't kill off fucking what's the face? What is the Shield agent?
Valkyrie. Oh,
You kill off Tessa Thompson, I'm done with the MCU. You can't kill off what's her face? The agent from Shield. The one that from How I Met Your Mother plays. I don't remember her name. Anyway, Maria Hill. There you go. You can't kill off Maria Hill. You can't kill off any of the women of the MCU because there's so very few. So it's like
it's Iron Man, bro. It has to be they could just do the whole hologram thing with him for a film or two, if anything. Like,
you know, it'd be fire. It would be okay. See now, if they did, now I'm actually with you on this because if they did, remember you said a couple of shows before, if he did die, if they just decided, hey, now we're gonna bring in Riri Williams to do this shit,
I almost slipped. Because you got hype.
I know
it's an easy ass transition, but
No, no. I thought
Like,
about that as soon as you said him coming back as AI, but I honestly don't think Tony's the one.
I
Does he?
mean,
I
if
don't
she's
think.
not
Here's the
popular, she's
thing.
not popular enough.
I don't
She's
think
not
it's going to be
popular enough in
Tony
the
or
comics.
Cap to die, but I do think Tony will step down or play a more background role and not be in the forefront so much of the Avengers movies or have his own solo movie again. I just think that you know him stepping down or playing a more background role will be sort of the ramifications of somebody dying. Like somebody dying would be the catalyst for
Well, they
him
pay
not
him too
being a
much
part of
money,
the
so
team.
it does make sense that they would just keep him around because he's already going to be on payroll.
No, yeah,
Because
he's. I mean, Cap is the leader of the Avengers, but fucking Iron Man is the mascot. You know what I mean? Like, and
but I mean,
not in a derogatory way, because like the first, not for nothing, Iron Man was the first movie to like break ground for the
that's
MCU
what made the MCU.
and to do numbers and to like start the ball rolling on this whole fucking thing. So you can't just like cast it aside. You have to make it like an institution. You got to do it like how all the other fucking superheroes are, like it's a mantle. Like how Falcon became Captain America and how
I was gonna say that could be the reach right there too if they did
yeah,
kill
like how
Cap,
Dick Grayson eventually became
or they could do
Batman
Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
when Bruce Wayne was
Pause.
presumed dead, like that sort of thing. Like you gotta keep you have to use it as the mantle and not the man. You know what I'm saying? So like if the Iron Man exists like as a project, like as an entity, then anybody could be Iron Man. Not anybody, like so to speak, but the people who have donned that thing. Like it either has to be after Tony, it has to be fucking Don Cheadle as Rhodey, or it has to be Riri Williams coming up from obscurity, from literally out of nowhere.
They can either do that, or they can try to introduce a Sam Wilson or Falcon as Cap, and then just bring
It
Cap
has to
back
be
later.
like, but this is what I'm saying. Like, in order for that to for the hero name itself to be the mantle, it has to then be taken up by somebody else. Because the next person who became Cap after Steve Rogers was Bucky.
Oh, that's true. Also, so they can also do that.
But
So
he became Cap after Cap died in Civil War. But the way things are going with the current climate of, racial tensions and things of that, so on and so forth, they might actually push beyond the Bucky Cap and go for Falcon Cap. Who knows?
I would really like. I don't fan cast and shit like that,
There's,
but I need Riri on film would be fucking fire.
I mean, I just think it would be a really cool thing to see. A
And
young black girl in that armor doing the same sort of thing. Well, not the same sort of thing because she'd be a teenage kid, so
and
she ain't gonna be
that could be a
drinking.
whole nother phase. That could be a whole nother phase because she could get an origin film, and then
Then you just basically re-roll the whole fucking thing, and then Tony's the AI, basically the guy in the chair like
that's a
Ned,
whole nother that stretches that gives you 2 3 more phases
and then she
because you
teams up with fucking Spider-Man, and it might be this Spider-Man, or that's how you introduce Miles
Miles
Morales.
Morales.
We just
Yo,
we just rewrote
can they hire us?
we just wrote the next phase of the MCU. How
Yeah,
about
can they just
that?
fucking
Can I
hire
just say
us?
this? Can I just, and then we can get out of here?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Marvel just announced that the
What, like as we
trailer
were talking?
just announced that the Avengers Infinity War trailer has now become the most watched
Yeah, most views.
trailer
Yeah.
within 24 hours of all time. A
Good God.
previously held record by Warner Brothers for it. They did 230 million views within 24 hours.
For the
It
It movie?
is now
I'm
suggested
surprised.
it is now suggested by Variety, or excuse me, the Hollywood Reporter, that let this sink in, mind you, that early projections, while tickets have not gone on sale, early projections.
Duh.
How are they talking about money yet? The money's not
This
even
is
being
money.
Jesus.
made.
This is money.
Because
But early
Hollywood is
projections.
money.
Listen,
Hollywood is money and sexual allegations.
early
Sexual harassment.
projections are stating that this movie will make $2.1 billion worldwide if all goes according to plan.
I don't doubt it.
And that's on
Yeah.
one
But
film.
what are the
And
numbers
it's
for
a two
the
part
for the
film.
views on the trailer?
They're basing it off of the views of the trailer, but take this into
No, but I
account.
mean, how many views has it gotten?
230 million. 230 million.
Jesus Christ.
But wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Take this into account though. Okay. Avengers 3 and 4 cost 1.5 billion to make. So that means off of Infinity War, they're going to make not only the budget off of the 2 movies, but they're going to be making pure profit from
just one.
Off of just one in the second one.
And the second one. The second one is just going to be pure profit.
Yeah.
The first movie will be making their money back plus profit. The second movie is just all profit. But how much views did it get, the trailer?
230 million.
Check YouTube, see how many views Paul Blart Mall Cop got.
Shut the fuck up. Just real quick back on that point we were just talking about. Just real quick too before we go. On the fan casting shit,
I need to know.
On the fan casting with Riri Williams, it would be like the one occasion where Marvel MCU is actually taking from DC film wise, where if they do that, where they can push forward a strong female lead, because like as you said, there's not a lot of females in the MCU like that.
Black girl, so they have even more
as a black minority. So it could because we've seen how that helped Wonder Woman. I mean, even being that it was like the best out of all their films.
Also, not for nothing, I don't fan cast for shit either. But I don't remember her name, and I kind of don't know how to pronounce it. The eldest daughter from Blackish, I think would be really good as Riri Williams.
Yo, man. MCU just highlight us, man. Marvel. Just
Kevin Feige. My number, my Twitter is on the bio.
Small check, like that shit is that shit would bank, bro.
Just give me something to feed my family, son. Just put me on for some cheeseburgers.
But we could get out of here. I mean, we didn't even talk about games. A couple of things happened. Fucking Destiny's being mad apologetic and shit.
Fuck all that gambling shit. Let all these
the fucking bullshit about
boxes.
We could talk, people they're trying to say that loot boxes is gambling.
We'll do an expose on the next show. We ain't fucking this has been very comic movie and TV heavy, so let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fucking tired.
All right, well, fan goddamn tastic. Chris, take us out.
Bye.